obviously, hold a team to 50 points, you're going to win a lot of games. So we did a great job with our half-court defense. We got a few, I thought, key steals to get some easy baskets. We talked about that. That were important. And, you know, Kyle obviously got it going in the first half, Jacob in the second. But this was a defensive victory. No question about it. We're still searching on offense a little bit at times with the new roles of guys on this team. Because we haven't had to play a lot of half-court offense and execute in the half-court. So it's a new thing for us, and it's just going to be a work in progress with Kane and Justin and Jaron. Obviously, Jake on the ball more than he's been with Troy Copain here his first 2 years. So we're still we're running a lot of new offensive stuff in the half court that we hadn't run last year too. So we're still searching a little bit from an efficiency standpoint on offense. Also, I thought we got up 19 or 20. And I thought our guys were just emotionally drained. They need a day off mentally after the last 3 games. And, just a lot of emotion. We don't, you know, in our program, losing 2 in a row doesn't happen very often. So I thought we were visibly tired there late in the game.
They get a day off tomorrow, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Which is nice because we don't have final, or we're out of school, so they get a. They need to get away for a day, get freshened up.
How important? This team was 8-0, but obviously they had not played a ranked.
No, but they got everybody back, and they got one of the best coaches in America. You know, my respect for Coach Allen is off the map. We go way back. He's a great guy. He's a great coach, and you know, what the guy did at Pittsburgh is unbelievable. And then what he did at UCLA at 3 Final Four. So they got everybody back. They got 6 or 7 top 100 players. They're just young, Gresh. They're still young. You can tell too when you watch them play. Even in their wins, when I watch them on film, you know, it'll be all out to get a W down there next year. I can promise you, because they're going to have that whole team back, and they're playing a lot of freshmen and sophomores. You know, I think Holman led them in scoring tonight. He's their only guy that plays that's above a sophomore, I think, of their main guys. So they're just a young team.
You mentioned you're still finding yourselves offensively, et cetera.
In the half court.
How important was it just to get this win?
Oh, no doubt. You know, I knew. You know, I was just concerned about the guys' confidence level. You know, it's hard to shield them from the social media and the outside world. You know, I can shield myself because I don't have it. But it's hard to shield now. It's you know, young people live in that world. You know. And I'm sure the sky was falling in that world because we lost a few games. But you know, we're coaches, you got to worry about how your team's playing and focus on improving. You know, it's just we played bad a few games that we won, even though we won by 30. You know, I was unbelievably upset after our last exhibition game against Emory Riddle. We had 20 turnovers. I mean, we were up 30 and a half, but I was beyond upset. So, for me, my job, the hardest thing this day and age is to keep your guys focused and together after a loss, because the world is coming to an end. In every level, high school, pro, college, doesn't matter. The world's coming to an end. And if you lose 2 in a row, it's really coming to an end. In their world, you know, because they read, they hear, you know, they're constantly. You know, it's just, that's the way it is. You know, my daughter's 11, that's all I got to tell her to put the iPad down night and day, never ending. So I was worried about their confidence because of all that type of stuff, the outside stuff, you know, and so yeah, getting a win was important. But it doesn't matter. That's the thing. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't. You got to get better. What's the difference? You got to get better. You got to play better to win Saturday. So you got to keep your team focused on improving. And I got a PhD in it, 7 years coaching in the Big East. PhD in it. In the real Big East with Syracuse and UConn and all those guys, like the ACC now, PhD in it. you had to be able to move on to the next game and focus on just, you can't look at your schedule. Bill used to ask me, you know, like this 4-game stretch, you can't look at the schedule. I'm worried about practice Thursday. I got to get my guys to worry about practice Thursday. It's hard this day and age, even with these kids, because I can see some things that I don't like. I think see maybe guys trying to do too much. Our passing isn't what it was. But everybody goes through it. Once the game starts and there's stat sheets and minutes and points per game, and the outside world infiltrates your team, it's the hardest thing as a coach.
You cut 7 turnovers off your turnover total, but I'm sure that's still too many in your mind, right?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, Gary should never have 4.
Well, is that a byproduct of how you're playing or just sloppy?
No, it's not a byproduct. It's just very sloppy. Our passing is, but I will tell you, on defense of the guys, we're running a lot of things that we're running this year are new and tailored away from Troy and Kev, where they were really good at certain things, trying to tailor some things more to the guys on our team now. So I think that's a learning process. That our passes are a little bit late. You know, I think that, and then, you know, obviously with Keith Williams, he's a freshman. With Kane, he's got to get much stronger with the ball. But I wouldn't just point to our turnovers, Bill. I would point to our field goal percentage as well. Just all, because overall offensive efficiency, which would be like the Ken Palm, you know, your points per possession. You know, it's an area where we have to improve. But that's just part of it. You know, when you get new starting guards, it's going to happen, and you're doing a lot of new stuff. When you get into these half-court games, you'd be really efficient. You know, you're blowing people out, running them down, shooting layups. You got to run the offense. It's a lot harder to be efficient against a Ben Howland coach team, or like Florida last. You know, teams that they're big and strong. They can play defense.
Especially when you had a guy like Troy Cronin who had the ball in his hands so much.
Exactly. So it's just a new world for us, you know, and the guys with the ball in their hands haven't had it in these types of games, which is why I tried to make the schedule the way I did. You know, I think some people thought he thinks they're great, they're going to run through it. It was the dead opposite. I thought we'd struggle, but I thought we needed it before we get to conference play, because these guys need some reality. You got to get some reality. It's the only way. You got to deal in the truth about what it takes to be a really good team and win real games. So, but we took a step in the right direction tonight in a lot of ways. I mean, you hold a team to 26% shooting that's 8-0, and Ben Howland's our coach. You're playing some good defense. Thanks, guys.